Hi, this is Melanie with Red Clover Reader, and Red Clover Reader is the online digital library for diverse and value-focused kids content. So today we're talking with April Cox. She is the author of the Labradoodle series, right? A Little Labradoodle series, and we're
Right.
talking about Puppy Pickup Day today.
Yes, thank you for having me today. This is great to be here and that you do this for the author community. So we appreciate you very much.
Well, thanks. Thanks, April. So first thing I wanted to ask was that I read the book. It's super cute. I love the illustrations, but what is a Labradoodle?
So a Labradoodle is a breed that was created. It's got lab in it and poodle. So it's a lab poodle mix that was actually created over time. They're a wonderful breed of dogs. They are smart like the poodle, loyal, loving, and they come in all kinds of colors and all kinds of sizes. And they're just an amazing companion. And they also have the benefit of not being, the majority of them having been raised over multi-generations, don't have any allergens, so they have hair instead of fur, so they're not shedding. So that's kind of the reason I think why the breed has become so popular, besides them being just loving and wonderful companions.
Okay, great. All right, so the Little Labradoodle series and Puppy Pickup Day is about some new, a little puppy who doesn't quite fit in with her siblings or the rest of the puppies, and then finds a new family.
Yes, I mean it's got a lot of different themes to it. It started out really with, I'm a mom of four. I have four beautiful grandkids from ages just a couple of months old to one that's over 5 years old. So I have a 2.5, a 3.5, and a 5 as well. And I love reading. I've always loved writing. But when my grandkids were born, I just got such a love for picture books all over again. I think that what really got me about the picture books is the spending time with the grandkids. And just, it was a big event. Anytime Nana was coming over, I brought lots of books, trying to get them away from video games, iPad, television. It's all screen time, especially for the oldest one. And so we would play, we would read, we would enjoy, beautifully illustrated picture books. We would play imagination games, and we would create our own little stories. And I was looking for a hobby and something to do after hours, after my long day at the office. And so I started putting some of these stories down in writing, more as a way to just leave a legacy for them, because I knew I wasn't going to be around forever. And wouldn't it be nice to start taking some of the stories that we were creating together and putting them down in writing so that they would have them, and their kids would have them, and their grandkids would have them someday. So that's kind of how it started. My little Labradoodle was always jumping up on our lap whenever I started reading stories with the kids, and he became the focus of a lot of our made-up stories, and it was fun. And so it just dawned on me, and I always called him my little Labradoodle, and I thought, wow, what a great name for a series. And we've got all these stories we've made up about him. Let's get started by introducing him and some of the characters in the book. And then the series will, be at least 5 books, probably more. And it really focuses on kindness and love and friendship and being brave and conquering the fears that you have. Because as you mentioned, this little Labradoodle of mine is that the character's based off of. He was the runt of the litter. He was always, unable to do the things that his siblings were able to do. I think when we got him at 8 weeks old, I think he was about not quite 4 pounds. So he was the ittiest bittiest little thing, but sweet as could be, very nervous, very much afraid and insecure. And so, we kind of introduced that about him. And of course, we had to throw in some adventure, and where the little Labradoodle gets lost while he's waiting for puppy pickup day. He kind of wanders off, and he meets some new friends and works with them, and learns the power of friendship and kindness that they show him to try to help him get back home in time for puppy pickup. And we see, he worries and wonders, is his family going to love him? Is he good enough? And I think it's something that all kids can have had a time where they just don't feel like they quite fit in, or they have a challenge and something that they need to be courageous about, be brave. So there's lots of messages and underlying themes that parents can work on and just explore deeper with the kids, depending on the level of the child and the personal circumstances that they're going through at the time as well.
Exactly. That's something we really like about the book, that it does have those themes that
right.
parents can return to, kids can really relate to.
Right.
It's something that you're going to continue on kind of as an underlying theme with the rest of the series.
Yes, all of the little Labradoodle books. I write from the heart. I write from an emotional place, and try to give opportunities, not preachy lessons, but opportunities to allow you to dig in a little further. And I've been really surprised at the ways in which this book has been used. One that really struck me, somebody that had just recently adopted a little girl, bought the book for her, and she has been completely joined at the hip with this little Labradoodle puppy. I'm going to show. So I have a set that I give out, or is available on my website. And here's the book, the Labradoodle Puppy Pickup Day in hardcover. It's a perfect size for the little ones, and easily to throw in the backpacks for the teachers to go back and forth to school. But this little soft, cuddly little Labradoodle puppy, the kids love the puppy. But specifically for this one child, she was just being put into a situation where she was newly adopted, and she had a lot of those same insecurities that Brady was having as a little Labradoodle getting ready to be adopted to a new home. And they said it was amazing how much they were able to talk about her feelings, and she felt the same way that he did, and the courage that the puppy showed, and making friends, and she felt like it was going to be okay. And she really identified with this character, and which really, I didn't expect that foster care and adoption would be so closely tied to this book, but I've heard not just from one, but from a handful of people how much they've appreciated this book in those situations for the kids.
You said that through reading stories with your grandkids, you kind of rediscovered your love of picture books. Yes. How long did it take you from, kind of thinking about putting those things down on paper after work to actually creating your book? What was that process like?
So at the time I started with it, as I mentioned, I was starting to do it as more of a passion project or a hobby. I had been working full-time in the corporate world, and full-time in the corporate world for me was, 60 to 80-hour weeks, which was crazy. So I didn't have a lot of time when I first got started, but it was something that helped me feel alive again and gave me a purpose. Like I couldn't wait to get out of bed in the morning, and I made time to do a little bit here and there. I think I started in March of 2018, and then in July, the end of July 2018, my position was eliminated in the corporate world. So after 30 years in corporate, between IT and business, I decided I didn't want to keep looking for another corporate role. So I really just wanted to focus on doing this as more than just a passion project, but something that I was going to be able to do as a business. And so I started pulling together Little Labradoodle Publishing, and focusing on this book and on some other things that I wanted to do for authors, for kids and for the community as well. I think the thing that I love the most is working with, I've recently started to block off a couple of hours every day on my calendar, and I've made my calendar available for people to block off half an hour time slots with me. And I've been talking and coaching one-on-one with authors who are looking to do self-publishing or just getting started, or maybe just need support and some help getting through, a critical juncture in their publishing journey. So I have loved it. I just really enjoy working with authors, and I cannot wait to start working more closely with school visits, libraries, and getting closer to the kids as well. We have lots of things that we're hoping to do within the community, and to focus with kids on literacy and teaching them more about what the story writing journey, publishing a book is all about. And so that's really exciting for me as well. But I feel best when I'm giving back to the communities that have helped me get where I am today. And it gives me an opportunity to, pay it forward.
Yeah. So along those lines, I noticed when I was reading about your work and your bio and some of the things that you've done, that you've started this little Labradoodle club.
Yes.
As a kind of a way to give back to the community. And
yeah.
Can you talk a bit about that?
And you're the first one to hear about it because it's relatively brand new. As you know, if you've been following the news and, on the airwaves, we have seen such negativity with the political climate. And I feel that, kids internalize everything, whether it's, struggles to fit in at school, learning new things at school, problems at home, or with, just regular challenges in the family. They internalize everything. And this political climate has given us so much negativity that I felt like I really wanted to do something, to create something that the kids could be a part of, that would empower them, something bigger than themselves. And so I started to think about, what does the little Labradoodle stand for? And I put together just a mock-up of the little Labradoodle Club, spelled K-L-U-B. And K stands for kindness, and L stands for love. U stands for unity, because I want to focus on kids being united, being, welcoming and inclusive. And the B was for bravery, because as we mentioned in the story and other concepts, sometimes we have challenges and things in this world where we need to be brave to step forward. It's doesn't always come easy to us. But so I put those letters together and said, okay, join the club. What can I do to show, to make this club for kids? So I designed a wristband with special, the little Labradoodle Club on it. And what I envision is visiting schools, church groups, different like scouting groups, things like that, and reading the book, talking about some of the challenges and themes of the book, and giving them an opportunity to join, to be a part of something bigger than themselves. For example, if a child, is new to a classroom and sees that there are kids with this band on that identifies them as part of this little Labradoodle Club, wouldn't it be wonderful if they could just know that means something? That means that they're be welcome, that they're committed to anti-bullying, that they join together and they do things to make the world a better place, such as, anything that where people can come together, a food bank, donating or, collecting for positive things in the community. But I just felt like kids needed something to be empowered, and I wanted to be a part of helping them introduce some positive narrative in the world, especially for kids, versus all of the negativity that I've been seeing, and kind of just it's overwhelmed me. So I can imagine, the kind of impact that has on kids.
Well, what an exciting project, that little Labradoodle Club.
Yes.
And
I hope it takes off. I think I'll have fun doing it, and I have a book launch event December 2nd, where we're going to be doing, face painting and celebrating at Barnes and Noble in Smithfield. And I'm going to have those wristbands, and I'm going to, start talking to kids about what does it mean and what kind of commitment do they give when they put that wristband on, and have special little things that, are specific to club members. So I hope it becomes something, not just a mindset, but really a movement that teachers can get behind, and youth group coordinators, and that it really helps kids to be a part of something bigger and to know that they can make a difference in the world, even because they're united and they come together to do positive things in their community.
Wow, well that's a really great project.
Thank you.
We're really excited to hear more about how that develops.
Yes,
So,
I'll have to come back and give you a status update as we go.
great job with that.
Yes, thanks.
A couple more things I want to talk about before we finish. Your illustrator is, just amazing illustrations. How was that? How did that relationship develop, and what was that like for you working?
Yeah. So I'll actually I'll show the book. This cover is a beautiful design, but as you start to walk through some of the illustrations in the book, you can see a very Disney-esque look and feel, and that's really what I was looking for. How beautiful that is.
Yeah.
So Len Smith is a former Disney illustrator, and when I'm a member of a number of online Facebook communities devoted for illustration and authors, and quite often they're a good place to meet illustrators. And I did a lot of interviewing of illustrators and trying to find someone that could kind of put what was in my head onto paper. And I think I went through maybe 6 or 7 different illustrators, paid for some concept designs, and just wasn't finding exactly what I was looking for. And then, as luck would have it, stumbled across a message from Len on the message boards. And I IM'd him through Facebook and started telling him about my project. And within a matter of 10 minutes of just going back and forth with him on Facebook Messenger, he sent me a picture of this adorable puppy that was exactly what I had in my head. And I said, "Did you just do that while we were on the phone together? While we were chatting?" And he said, "Yeah, over the past 10 minutes or so." And that's that's the amazing talent that Len is. He gets it. And if you see the images in the book, one thing I love about Len and his work is the way that he translates emotion into the pictures. I can't tell you how many people have told me it feels like an emotional roller coaster. They feel, excited about puppy pickup day. Then they feel worried because the puppy's lost. And then, they're empathetic about the way that this puppy's feeling about meeting his new family and his insecurity. And adults are telling me I'm choking back tears. Like, how did you do this? And it's not me. It's the book and the characters that Len, and how he translated those characters into the book and their emotions into the book. So I think it was a great collaboration, and I'm really fortunate to have worked with such an amazing talent as Len Smith.
Yeah, very super adorable.
Thank you.
Can relate to, and obviously adults too,
Yeah, I've been really surprised. And hearing the stories of little ones, and I was actually surprised at how young that are really enjoying the book, because early readers love it because it's easy to read. It's a nice rhyming scheme that helps them build confidence with their reading skills. And I expected that to go over well with the early readers, but what I didn't expect is that kids as young as 2 years old are loving the puppy and the story, and are asking their parents to read it over and over and over again. And I have coloring books, little Labradoodle coloring books as well. And I've had 2 people already tell me that their child won't let anybody color in the coloring books. One of them is even sleeping with the coloring book under their pillow because they love the puppy and they don't want anybody ruining it by coloring it. So it's just, I hear stories like that, and it makes my heart happy that kids are enjoying it so much. But again, I never expected it to appeal that well to an age of 2 years old and up. The 2 and 3-year-old was really a surprise at how much they've really embraced the book.
Yeah. Well, great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Really great book, and we're super excited to see the next installments in the series. See what happens to the little Labradoodle. What other adventures he goes on.
Yes, I've got lots of things coming, and lots of adventures that we've created together. And I should mention that the stories themselves actually have my family in them. So they're real people and my dog is real, and there's Nola, who is part of the story as like kind of an older adult dog that kind of takes care of the puppies. She's a real dog with my breeder. My grandkids are in it. Nana and Grandpa are in it. It's fun. It's just really fun to create these stories together where the kids were inserting themselves into the stories and inserting the little Labradoodle in there with us. And it's fun that when I see them, they're like, I've got a new story. We're going to the moon. So it's just been such a joy to work on these things and to have such fun. And we're starting to see a lot of kudos and awards coming our way. We knew that the illustration end of it would get critical acclaim for Len, and we did get awards for cover design. But Mom's Choice Award just granted us their highest honor, which is the Gold Award. We've had Reading with Your Kids, certified great read status. I've got Reader's Favorite 5-star, recommended read, Midwest Book Review 5 stars. So it's just great to see as a first-time author that we're getting recognition and some just wonderful accolades from the author community, the award community, and from the kids and the parents that are consuming the material.
Well, like you said, it's very evocative. Part of that is the emotions, but I think you can really see your passion as an author coming through and your joy for the work coming through in it too. And that's something that, we just love, and we're really excited to share with our readers and our audience.
Thank you.
So one thing I wanted to ask before we conclude is if you don't mind sharing some tips or advice with our readers and parents.
So tips for parents and caregivers, especially grandparents, try to get the kids away from the screens. Take that physical hardcover or softcover book, find a nice quiet place, and get into stories together. There is nothing like the feeling of a child melting into your lap, letting all the cares of the world go away for a little while, and getting into an adventure together. And you can also introduce adventure and imagination more in their life, whether you're just riding in the car together and you talk about, let's make up a story together. There's opportunities where kids are completely away from screens, where you can just start thinking about stories and just engage them on a whole different level and just show them how important that they are to you. Just take time away from your day to really connect with those kids.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much, April, for sharing some of your evening with us. We really
Thank you so much.
Having the chance to talk with you and learn about your book, and we're super excited to share it with our readers. And we're also really looking forward to the next little Labradoodle adventure too.
Yeah, and I'll also send you a link that you can post along with this video for anyone who'd like to download digital copy of the book. I have a free PDF you're welcome to take and review. and also a bunch of coloring books and coloring activities that you can print out and use for the kids with my compliments.
Oh,
so
great.
thank you for this time, and for letting me have this little exposure that really means so much to a new author.
Always really happy to share the work of authors like yourself that are just so passionate and excited and ready to make a difference in kids' lives. So great talking with you.
Thanks.
This is the Red Clover Reader author interview, and today we were hanging out with April Cox, author of Puppy Pickup Day in the Little Labradoodle series.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks so much. Okay, we'll chat with you soon. Bye, April.